Today's video, we're going to talk about Yellow Page ads and the cost associated with Yellow Page ads. And yes, I know what you're thinking already if you're a regular subscriber to this channel. What are you even talking about Yellow Page ads for? Do those actually still work? The answer to that is absolutely yes. That is, if you're still in a niche where it's relevant. There are certain businesses where this does still work, even when paying thousands of dollars a month for a Yellow Page listing. And there's some where it absolutely is a complete freaking waste of time. I'm gonna go through how to tell if you're in a space where you actually can get some extra profitable customers in your local area by using Yellow Page ads. Even if you're already doing Google and whatnot, your job as a business owner, if you really want to make money, is to find different places you can advertise that are working. And Yellow Pages is a big one that people not only just can work, but are overlooking because they just listen to whatever other people around them are saying. In marketing and advertising, the stuff everybody knows about, that stuff usually has the smallest margins. The stuff nobody knows about and nobody is doing has the biggest margins because it's not saturated and people actually respond more when they see something that's unique in a place that they don't normally see it as well, as it comes to marketing and advertising anyway, which doesn't necessarily apply here, but bring it up anyway. Anyway, with that said, what I'm going to do on this video is talk about how to actually run a Yellow Page ad successfully, how to get a return on investment out of it. Like I said, where it actually works, where it doesn't work, that is depending on the type of business that you have. And I'm also, if you stay to the end of the video, going to go through the actual case study where we did this with the client, not us ourselves. We didn't actually call up the Yellow Page YP and actually place the ad. I actually got feedback from the client as to whether it works, how much it works for a restoration company. Privilege of asking that client, or clients in general, how well things work outside of Google ads. I want to be able to know just so I can share it on this channel alone. The other things that work, so I can consult other clients and so forth. With that said, my name is Corey Zyman, owner of Guaranteed PPC. I own and run a PPC/advertising agency that guarantees results for clients on Google ads, Facebook ads, and other online ad sources. I've been doing advertising for 20 years now, 10 of which is just been through the advertising firm that I run, Guaranteed PPC, to give you the information I'm sharing with you on this channel about what works and what doesn't work in today's environment in terms of advertising and online advertising in specific. With that said, Yellow Page ads still do actually work. However, it only works in some niches like I was mentioning a bit ago. That is, niches where call-only ads still work, roughly speaking. If you don't know what I mean by call-only ads, I'm talking about the ads that you could run through Google ads where it's just call-only. There's only a phone number there to call. There's no website to click through. I've talked about call-only ads generally working in spaces where you don't need a lot of information in order to respond. If it's a towing company, you don't need to know everything or basically almost anything at all about a towing company before you're willing to call. People still want to know your reviews, what your review rating is on Google, Yelp, that kind of thing before they call, even in the towing space. It's a space where a call-only ad could work fairly decently, even though even in towing specifically, I'd still run a regular ad because people can, generally speaking, call without doing a lot of background research. The reason why I bring that up is if you're using call-only ads, Yellow Page listing ads can also be profitable, given that can be satisfied with just seeing a phone number in the phone book, no other information, calling and doing business with that particular company, if that makes sense. So that'll tell you right up the bat whether your market it's going to apply or not, that you should be running it to get a few extra customers per month in your business. If you don't actually know, still, what I'm talking about here is to whether this Yellow Page ads can bring in customers, and not only just bring in customers, but bringing them in at a profitable rate because the ads still aren't cheap. They've went up over the years. You can reach out to me at guaranteedppc.com and I'll give you a free consultation. We can address it together. I'll listen to what business you're in and then let you know whether or not you should do it or not. And then along with that, I can tell you about your other ads, what you should be doing. I actually provide a guaranteed PPC service. As I mentioned before, we can actually make your ads more profitable before paying a fee and let you know how much we could bring you up front. And the idea being that the increase we can get you will offset our fee, so there is no fee per se. So we could talk about that at the same time. Potentially, we also sell ad templates. These are very popular in that if you don't want to work with an ad agency, you like managing your own ads and being hands-on with it. If we worked in your niche market before, you should use the winning ads, landing pages, all of that we've already developed for your niche market for another client in a different geographic area or country, and just copy paste it into your account. We can actually tell you the results we've got in your space before, so you would know what you stand to gain using our version of it instead of the version you're using right now. So that's a big opportunity for you as well. So regardless of what your situation is, whether you'd like to manage your own ads or you want somebody to help you that's a real ad expert, get you the maximum results possible running ads online for your business, give you some context as to what you can stand to gain using my help if you just reach out to me. Beyond that, going back to the content here, the reason why Yellow Page listings / ads will still work to this day is because 10% of Americans are actually over 70 years old. I don't know if you ever thought about this before. I talked about before on this channel how important it is to not have super long contact forms, because you may be able to type easily. A lot of people can't type very well or fast. They're like chicken peckers and they're typing one letter at a time. If you expect people to fill out an 8-field form just to be able to reach out to you and inquire about doing business, you're not going to get very much business, because there's a lot of people that it's too much work for them. They're going to say, you're making it too hard, I'll go do business with somebody else. That isn't even older people, even though older people fit into that category more so generally. Well, go ahead, and I challenge you to watch somebody who's 80 years old try to use Google or a tablet. Some can manage to do voice search on Google so you don't have to type, but they barely can type. On top of that, hate using smartphones. When's the last time you've seen it? Like, legitimately, think about the last time you went out to a restaurant, even at a place where there's an 85-year-old guy there. Are they on their smartphones, clicking around on their smartphones? No, they're not. Because of that, Yellow Pages are useful to people that are at that age bracket. And the reason why Yellow Page ads can work if you have customers that are that age in your business, okay? That also should tell you if Yellow Page listings and ads are going to work and actually deliver an ROI for you or not, and how much customers it can actually bring on top of it. If you're in the right niche and you have customers that are older, you've got something there. You should at least run a test ad to see if it will work for you. Obviously, Yellow Pages want a 1-year contract, so there isn't 1 month of just trying it out. However, you could run a smaller ad, see if that does anything over the next 12 months with a dedicated tracking number. If it works, the next year you can take the full page ad out of it and get the full benefit, tap into as many leads as you can out of that Yellow Page, that phone book that you're listed in. And by the way, if you like the information I'm sharing with you here, I have tons of other information on how to make millions of dollars running ads for your local service business, for your local business in general. If that's your goal, to make millions of dollars setting up ad campaigns for your business, and in order to do that, then you should subscribe to this channel, as the information I'm sharing with you on this channel comes from somebody, like I said, with 20 years of advertising experience, and on top of it spends 40 hours a week doing ad testing as my full-time job on dozens of different ad accounts to give you the information about what works and what doesn't work online to run ads successfully for a business, with case studies like I'm sharing with you and about to share with you in today's video. So if you're going to pay attention to anything, you should subscribe to this channel at the very least. You should also check out my blog if you haven't yet. You can find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog. The blog has actual step-by-step guides on how to actually set up campaigns that we're using to guarantee results for our clients that are a firm that you can copy paste into your own ad accounts and get the same kind of results for yourself. But getting into the actual case study here, we had an actual restoration company. So when I say restoration company, for you guys who aren't familiar with this is basically a company where if you have a broken pipe or something like that, and your house is flooded, you got to call somebody to deal with that. That's a restoration company. Or if you've had a small fire in your house, you need to get that fixed up, you call a restoration company. If you have mold inside your house, you need to get that fixed, it's the same thing. So that is what I'm talking about in terms of the company we were working with here. And this is a company in South Florida, which admittedly has a higher percentage of older people, okay? So to go along with what I said before, if you're in an area that has a lot of older people, this can make even more money for you technically. Even though you're not in a retirement area, it still can make a lot if you're in the right niche market, like I was saying before. Now, as far as the results in case study that I know you're waiting for here, what we did, like I said, the client did, was run an ad in the Yellow Pages listing, because what we do is we run Google ads, we run the Google Guarantee LSA ads, we try to rank in the map listing spot, we try to rank organically. Once you've got all that kind of going and you get your referral sources going and you want to expand your business, you got to think outside the box. You can do Microsoft ads. Once you've done that, you kind of like got most of the low-hanging fruit online. Then it's like, what can I do offline? Yellow Pages is the best #1 area to go after all that, which is what I suggested to the client and that the client should do. But because of the niche service type, and I also kind of wanted to see just how well it would work myself, I admit. Beyond that though, client spent $2,500 a month for a Yellow Page listing. They went ahead and went, balls deep into this thing. They didn't start out with a $300 a month line ad because, given that there's not that many people that do use Yellow Pages anymore, we wanted to run a real test with it. They spend $50,000 a month in advertising already anyway. So spending $300 a month, it's a drop in the bucket. But with that $2,500 a month, they got a quarter page ad, okay, which you can run up to full page ads in the Yellow Pages technically. Depending on your category, they may or may not let you do that. But with that said, the results, we had about 4 calls a month already off of that $25 quarter page ad. That cost per lead is higher than what we were getting from Google, I will admit. However, even though it's a lot less competition than Google in this space is very cutthroat. That said, the cost per job was cheaper, which means the closing rate on the calls that we were getting, they were closing at a higher rate than our Google calls were closing. Even though in the restoration space, and somebody calls and they pretty much have a big problem, they're going to hire somebody, not always do they close. Mainly because they can go back to Google and click on and call 2 or 3 other people pretty easily. People are just kind of finickier, if you will. Versus a Yellow Page listing, a person that actually uses Yellow Pages, generally speaking, it's an older individual and it's too much energy for them to call 3 places. And they'd just rather just deal with the first person, frankly. Or it's going to have a higher percentage of people who's going to call 1 versus multiple, ask for pricing and that kind of thing. Or what people will do a lot of times is they'll call and they'll be like, I need to have someone come out. And our client will say, hey, I can have somebody out in the morning for that. And they're like, oh, I want it now. And there's less of that as per what we found with the Yellow Page listing call or callers, which by the way, it's really easy to tell the quality because get a tracking number set up with you, Yellow Pages, and you with your CallRail account that you're using to track the rest of your ad campaign, you can see every single call you get from this Yellow Page listing and listen to the recording of every single call to know, because calls nobody cares about. How many jobs you got, and then what's the size of the jobs on top of it that you're getting to see what the true return on investment is on that channel versus, Google ads and the rest of the stuff. So they were getting a higher closing rate. The job sizes were similar. I didn't really notice any differences there. It actually even got a higher ROI than our Google ads. They're still running it, which, like I said, unlike with the Google ads, yes, you can make your ads better and better. The better you make your ads, the more Google's going to want to run your ads, the more bigger the ad is going to be. But they control that on their end. They'll have site links added, or, if they really want people to see your ad because you're doing a good job for their users, to give them a good experience, that is a better ad with a better click-through rate and a better landing page with a better conversion rate. It's limited in that regard of making your ad bigger, whereas on Yellow Pages, if it works, you can go to a bigger and bigger and bigger ad, to a full page ad. Okay, we never did that in this particular case yet, but that's part of the reward of setting this up and taking the risk and being the one guy who does it when everybody else says it doesn't work and are not going to try it, and you try it, because the upside is I can run a full page ad and get a decent amount of calls on a regular basis. And it's only going to cost me a few bucks to set this test up and just, let's see what happens. So anyway, I gave you the information that will give you enough confidence at least that this could work for you to go out there and give it a try. What I would also tell you here to put things into perspective for yourself is if you go to the Yellow Pages now, open up the phone book, see what other companies are advertising in your area. If there are companies there doing it, and there's people with quarter page ads, they're doing that as well. Some of these people probably, certainly, or should I say, most of these people don't know if it really works or not. I know that I'm in the advertising space. 70% of the people who even run Google ads don't track any of the results. They don't even know if it works or not. They think it does, they don't really know. So that's got to be the case with the Yellow Page ads, probably even more so. But not all of them are totally clueless, and that should be, and the more people advertising there, the more likely it is that it actually works in your space. It brings in calls, brings them in at a rate that is worth doing. So I would use that as a signal as to, if you're kind of on the fence, if you see 10 people in your space already listed there in the Yellow Pages, that should be a much higher indication that you should be trying this out for yourself. All you're out at the end of the day is a 1-year contract, and then, that's it. And which, there's horror stories about Yellow Pages about being able to cancel your contract and not get it out of it, which is why you want to give them a credit card that's a throwaway card. Go get a Visa gift card to pay them. But you're out $5,000, who cares, to be able to run a line ad in there. Investing 1% of your advertising budget in a Yellow Page ad to see if it will work it's worth doing. Now, obviously I wouldn't start with Yellow Pages. I would start with Google. You're going to get immediate feedback and immediate results with that for all practical purposes. Even though Yellow Pages is pretty immediate, once you get it in there, you're going to get the calls right away. The one benefit of Yellow Pages is, there's no algorithm. Either your ad works or it doesn't. So when it's finally published in the phone book, which takes months, you're actually going to be able to get feedback right away as to how profitable this is going to be. It's not with Google ads, there's a buildup. The results you get the first month are not the results you get the second. The second month's results is not what you get the third. And then you actually get more calls per dollar of ad. The longer you run the ads, the more broken in they get. That is, if you have a good ad and a good landing page, that Google's algorithm is going to slowly find out more and more that's doing better than the competition. So they want to give you the benefit of the doubt to encourage you to stick around as an advertiser because you're helping them, provide a good experience to their users and get people to be more likely to click on ads in the future. This Yellow Pages is just an on-off thing, which a lot of people think Google ads is like that, and that's not at all how it is anymore, especially now. I would try to do my Google ads, my Microsoft ads like I was talking about earlier, try to get ranked, and then once you've done all that, spend 1% of your money on Yellow Page listing and see what happens. I mean, it might actually be 2 or 3% of your profit. Well, I mean, that sound like a lot, but still, if you had money just laying in front of you and you either pick it up or it's going to blow away, you know damn well you'd pick that money up if it were there. So why would you throw this opportunity away is what I would tell you here. Anyway, with that said, if you have any questions about anything I talked about here or questioning this at all, have any ad related questions in general, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a question or comment on this channel, usually within 24 hours time. But yeah, that sums up the Yellow Pages. Does it work every time? No. Does it work sometimes? Yes. Once you know it works, it'll work probably for the next, at least until Yellow Pages completely goes away, for the next few years, so it's worth giving it a shot, in my opinion. I have a business that if I'm running a local service company, I'm doing it. At least to find out for myself if it will work or not. I'm out maybe 1 year's worth of fees, but I can then make sales for the next 5, 10 years if it works. You got to put things you got to think like that if you're going to be a winner in terms of a person that advertises their business and makes a lot of money and makes millions of dollars in what you're doing, running ads for your business. With that said, hopefully that made a lot of sense. I'll see you on the next one.
Remember when I said call-only ads was important during this video? Well, this video here tells you how to do it.